Hey guys, happy November. I hope everyone had a great Halloween. I didn't dress up or do anything, but I played some games and it's time to look forward to some games in November. So I've got 9 games from my wish list that I think are worth watching out for, and I'm really excited for personally. ID at Xbox Showcase just happened a few days ago, and they added 2 games to my that were already on my wish list for November. I thought they were going to come out in 2026, so that's really exciting. But that also means that there's going to be way too many games in November. But thankfully, I think December is kind of light, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I can keep up or not, but first game is Egging On. This was one of the games that was announced for November that I thought was going to be released later. It's coming out on November 6th. This is kind of like a game like Only Up, so it's a difficult, stressful platformer with like physics-based mechanics where you're an egg and you're trying to get through this barn. There's like different levels and layers and stuff, but you're an egg. And if you crack, you become a yolk, and the yolk will fit through the cracks, and you'll end up back where you started, and you'll have to start over again. It's pretty chaotic. If you roll past a rooster, you have to do it kind of stealthily because a rooster is going to try and peck at you, and then again, you'll break, and you're less likely to make it through. Um, Thankfully, when you turn into a yolk, you'll gradually turn back into an egg. Don't ask me how. I don't know how that works. Doesn't seem realistic, but that's fine. It's just a way to like get back and going. But the visuals are really cool, and I like the physics, and it's frustrating, but it's interesting and it's different. So definitely look into that if you're into games like Only Up or even Baby Steps. But you're an egg. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be on Game Pass day one as well. So definitely look into that. Luminous Arise. I've never played a Luminous game in my life. I did not have a PSP or Vita growing up, but I do really like rhythm-based games. I've also never played Tetris Effect, which it's by the same people. How have I not played Tetris Effect? I love Tetris. Like, I don't even like playing games online or with people or, whatever, but Tetris 99, really fun. Anyway, Luminous, the demo was amazing. It was so, so good. You've got this kind of like grid based system, kind of like Bejeweled or Tetris, I guess, in a way, but you're trying to match like these shapes and colors in like a 2x2 grid, or more, and you get like multipliers and stuff as this line kind of goes across the screen. So you're trying to do it as fast as you can and rack up as many points before that goes. But there's music in the background that's playing, and it intensifies and gets even cooler as you progress and as you go faster and faster and you complete more. um, as you clear like more lines, it's going to kind of just, I don't know, it pumps up, and the music, it's just really, really cool. It's really colorful, and I probably strained my eyes a little too much because I was just kind of like trying not to blink. Yeah, but I really liked it. It took me a couple of tries to get into because I wasn't really sure what I was doing, to be honest, at the first time I played. But yeah, I really, really like it. The demo might still be up, but definitely check that out if you have not. Winter Burrow. This is a game that was originally announced at the Xbox showcase last year during SGF, and it's where you play as a woodland mouse, and you're in the winter and you're trying to survive, gather resources to um, kind of rebuild your home, but also to get like useful tools and like clothing and stuff that's going to help you survive. Um, there's all sorts of different enemies like giant bugs and stuff that you'll have to attack and fend off. You have to keep yourself warm because you can freeze to death. And I think you're trying to find a relative. But it reminds me of Redwall, and I really liked Redwall a lot as a kid. I loved reading those books, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. I have been since it was announced originally. This will also be a Game Pass Day 1 game. So definitely look forward to that. If you have not tried it, the demo should still be up for that as well. Another mouse game, we've got Morsels. This is releasing on November 18th. It's a roguelike game where you're playing as a mouse and you get more cheese, you collect cheese, get upgrades, fight enemies. Kind of, sort of. I don't know if I would say it's not really a survivor like, but it is a roguelite, and you've got like all these different types of enemies. The visuals are a little off-putting, I think. It's kind of weird. It's very glowy. I don't know if that's a word. Uh, like glowy neon colors. It is very colorful, but it's really unique and interesting. But I think from the videos, it looks like the gameplay kind of might change, and actually the visuals change too, because there's different types of art styles in the game from what I could see in the trailers anyway. But yeah, it looks really interesting. I don't know too much about it because I didn't play too terribly much of the demo, but I played enough to know that I'm going to enjoy it, I think. Um, let's see. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. This is another SpongeBob 3D platformer. I did not play Battle for Bikini Bottom for whatever reason, but SpongeBob was a little bit after my age, but my sister was younger than I was, so I would watch it with her, and I found it hilarious. Thought it was a really fun cartoon, and I still like it quite a bit. But um this is where the Flying Dutchman kind of like curses the town, or curses Bikini Bottom, and you're trying to fight him off. It's a 3D platformer. They don't always have the biggest narratives. It's just more about the gameplay. And I played the demo, and it didn't seem like it was anything like over the top, but it seemed fun enough. So I'm definitely going to look into it. It's being published by THQ Nordic. So Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault. This is going into early access on November 19th. I actually went into the playtest for this. I played the original game when it came out. This was kind of like on a whim. I just grabbed it off the shelf and thought it looked really cool, and so I bought it. It was the first roguelike game that I had ever played, and I fell in love with it. I thought it was really cool. I couldn't put it down. I was on vacation, and I don't play games in handheld mode because I just don't really like playing on handhelds. But it didn't stop me there. I could not stop playing. And it's really unique. It's a game where you go through dungeons at night, and during the day, the relics and stuff that you got from the dungeons you sell in your shop. And the money that you get, you use to get upgrades and get better tools and weapons and stuff that are going to help you fight. So they're like permanent upgrades and stuff, just like a roguelite, but it's really unique, and I really like it. The art style is completely changed. It was like kind of like a pixel 2D style, and now it's a 3D model. So I don't know if I'll like it as much as the first game, but sorry, I didn't mean to shake my camera or whatever. I don't know what I just did, but um, I don't know if I'll like it as much. But I did play the playtest, and they did improve what the first demo they released had like some things that were too different from the original game, like the shop and stuff. Like you couldn't price things on your own, and it was a weird system, and I think a lot of people didn't like it, so they changed it back. So now it's more like what it used to be in the first game, where you can set your prices on the items and just kind of go from there. You can see like what things are, if the customers are happy with the price if it's too expensive, if it's like a really, really cheap deal, and then you can raise it a little bit and see if that'll work. Um, and yeah, it's really cool. I don't know if I'll play it day one because it is going into early access, and I usually don't play games until they are 1.0. So, except for Grimshire, and Grimshire is amazing. So yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. I may give into it, but there's also a lot of games that are out, so I may just wait until it's done and ready. Um, Monsters Are Coming Rock and Road. This was the second game that was announced during ID at Xbox Showcase for November, and I thought it was going to be 2026, and this is the best demo I've played all year. Maybe like right next to Reanimal, but I just Monsters Are Coming Rock and Road. This game looks fantastic. The demo I played for like an hour and a half, I think, and I cannot wait for this game. Oh my gosh. If you are into Ball Pit, if you're loving Ball Pit right now, like this is the game to look out for sure. It's being published by Raw Fury. If you don't know Raw Fury, they also published Blueprints earlier this year, one of the Game of the Year contenders. So definitely don't sleep on this. It's a vertical hallway. You're trying to defend this town on wheels, and you're running around. It's like a survivor like, and you've got hordes of enemies coming at you, and you get upgrades and stuff that you can use towards your character. But once you get to kind of like a rest stop, the rest stop is where it'll kind of the gates will close and your town base and you will be safe, and that's where you're going to upgrade your town base before you move on. So uh you can add extra like rooms, and you can add cannons and stuff to your town base, but as you add more to this town, it's going to take up more space, and it's going to get wider. It's going to be harder to clear out obstacles to get through, but you'll be more powerful as well. So you just gotta you. There's quite a bit of strategy to this, and not just kind of like the mindless like Vampire Survivor like which I mean, Ball Pit also has town building, but it's like outside of the main run. So this one's actually it's like inside of the run. So it's really unique. It's really cool. The music's really good too. That's why it's called Rock and Road at the end. If you were wondering, it's got kind of like a metal music background to it. So yeah, this releases on November 20th, and this is going to be a Game Pass Day One game as well. And I'm super looking forward to it. And I'm so happy that they announced this when they did at the ID at Xbox Showcase. I just kind of lost it. I was like, this is so cool. But yeah. Um, Next game is Mosaic of the Strange. This was originally supposed to release in October, but it did have a demo drop during Steam Next Fest, so I wonder if they're just trying to tweak some things first before they're putting this out. Mosaic of the Strange is the next game. It's a new game in the Mosaic series. There's like, I want to say at least 6 games. I've played through all of them, but the previous games were just like this kind of like a minesweeper like game where you've got a 3x3 space and you've got to fill it in, and as you fill in these sections it reveals like a larger mosaic or a painting. It's really really cool. Kind of hard to describe. It's like a a 3x3 space, and if you have a 9 in the middle, then all of those spaces are going to be filled in positive. If you have a 0, then none of those spaces, they're all going to be negative filled in, and then it just you keep going and going and going, and it reveals this large painting, portrait, mosaic, whatever. They're usually about 30 something hours long, and it's something that I like to play while I'm watching podcasts or listening to podcasts. But this one added a couple of new mechanics. This one also has like some detective work. It has a little bit of narrative, which the others did not have any narrative at all. And so it's different. Like you'll zoom in and on evidence, and the evidence will have like that grid-based system where you have to fill that in, and then it'll reveal the evidence, and then you can put it on your evidence board. So it's very different. It still has those puzzles and stuff, but it's not the entirety of the game. But I'm looking forward to it. I loved all those games. I mean, they're very simple. You know, it's just something really relaxing to play in the background. And the last game is Constance. As most of you will probably know, I am not a Metroidvania fan. It's more that I'm just not good at them. I did not grow up with 2D platformers. I started with the Nintendo 64, so I started with 3D, and I'm not very good at the genre. They're typically very hard. You get lost really easily, and while some people are not good at roguelites, like I'm pretty decent at roguelites, but some people are great at Metroidvanias. I am not. So that's just the way it is. Sometimes you'll be better in a genre than other people, but you'll suck at another one. Then that's how I am. I want to get into the genre though. So Constance is very, very smooth. It's very colorful. Um, I really liked what I played of the demo, and it's one of my favorite demos of the year, actually. I guess if you wanted to describe it, it's a mixture of Celeste and I guess Hollow Knight, which I have not played Hollow Knight, but I know enough about Hollow Knight to say that it is kind of like that. Um, but you've got this girl, and she's got a paintbrush, and you use the paintbrush to get through the areas, and you're kind of like cleansing the world, um, and like bringing color back is really what you're trying to do. I think there's also mini games and stuff in this, but her movements are so silky smooth, and it feels great to play. And I think it's going to be a hit. If you like games like Silk Song and you're done with Silk Song and you want another game to play, I definitely think you should look into Constance and try it out when it comes out. I don't know if it's going to be on like any of the services day one or anything. I don't think it is, but it's definitely worth checking out. So, yeah, if you liked any of these games, be sure to wishlist them. It does help out the developers to get them out in front on the store page when they release, which, helps them out a lot. So it's the best thing you can do for supporting developers without paying anything is to wishlist if you want to support them. So I'm really excited for November, but I'm also like nervous because there's so many of them, and I don't know if I can keep up. I don't know like how many I'm going to get for review or what's going to happen. There may be some more that pop up. We still have, let's see, um I've got 4 games on my wish list that still say 2025. Oh shoot. Oh no. I just realized there's a game that's missing. Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk Tokyo. What happened? Coming soon. It originally said 2025, and now it says coming soon. But yeah, so I guess it's not 2025 anymore. But there's 4 games that are still releasing in 2025 apparently, but they don't have a set release date, and it's November. So kind of crazy. I don't know that they're going to. We've got Mixtape. Nothing. I think it's going to be next year. Far Away or Fairway. This one's 2025. Nothing. That one's an Annapurna game. Both of those are Annapurna, and they had an Annapurna showcase and did not show either one of those games. It's like, oh, okay. Will Follow the Light. That one does not have a release date yet. And then Letter Lost says Q4 2025. So everything else has just been pushed to coming soon, or, you know, I don't know, to be announced. So that's what we got, and I'll see you guys later.